December is wrapping up, and in this new series, we're gonna take a look back at the month of game releases and go over what were the top 3 and top worst best games of the month. This is gonna be a new monthly series, so let's get right into this with the first edition. We'll first start with the games that were the best of the month. Number 3 is A Hat in Time on consoles. A Hat in Time is a platform action adventure game developed by Gears for Breakfast and published by the guys over at Humble Bundle. It released on PC a couple months ago, but it was finally released on PlayStation 4 and Xbox One this month. A Hat in Time is a very nostalgic platformer that revolves around Hat Kid, a young girl trying to return to her home via a spaceship. While on her journey, she passes over a planet, and a member of the planet's mafia comes to collect a toll for the mafia town government. Hat in Time is a very charming game. Is it absolutely perfect in design? No, but it takes you back to some of the awesome platform games of yesteryear. And it's a very enjoyable game for anyone of any age. The game is sitting at a 79 on Metacritic. Number 2, Xenoblade Chronicles 2. Xenoblade has been one of Nintendo's staple franchises, and Nintendo has done a great job with the release of the Nintendo Switch this year. You could make an argument that it has had one of the best first years of a platform ever. Xenoblade Chronicles 2 was an awesome cap-off to the Nintendo Switch's first year. It's the follow-up to the first Xenoblade Chronicles, however, it centers around a new cast of characters in a different world, so playing the first game isn't absolutely necessary. If you jump right into Xenoblade Chronicles 2, what you'll find is a standout RPG that has a quality story, solid combat, and exploration, and it keeps that engaging for 50 to 70 hours. It did make a stark shift over the previous Xenoblade games in that the art style was more of an anime and chibi-ish style. That may turn off some people that aren't accustomed to a lot of Japanese games, but still, what you have in Xenoblade Chronicles 2 is absolutely great. It's got an 83 on Metacritic. And finally, number 1, Okami HD. Okami was one of the best PlayStation 2 games, and that says a lot because the PlayStation 2 has an absolutely massive game library filled with quality games, but you can make an easy argument that Okami is among the top 10. Unfortunately, Okami went pretty under the radar with its original release. It never saw a full-on sequel. We did get Okami did on the Nintendo DS, but never a full Okami 2. But now if you've never played Okami, Capcom has re-released the game on PlayStation 4, Xbox One, and PC in the form of Okami HD. This version supports 4K resolutions. Unfortunately, this is locked to 30 frames per second. It was tied to the game's engine, so that's unfortunate, but the game still looks and plays great. It's a very artistic game, the gameplay is great, and the storytelling is very unique. If you've never played Okami, make sure to give Okami HD a look. Hopefully if this performs well, Capcom will reopen the door to a possible sequel with a potential Okami 2 down the line, but for now, definitely give Okami HD a look. It's got an 88 on Metacritic. Now moving on to the worst games of the month. Number 3 is Oh My God Heads. Oh My God Heads isn't an absolutely terrible game. What it is a fast and frantic multiplayer game in which 4 players swing pointy swords, sling explosive pies, and celebrate the death of their foes with exuberant aplomb. And while initially for the first couple of hours there is some fun to be had in Oh My God Heads, that fun doesn't really persist, and you realize it's a game with not much depth to it. Also, if you're playing by yourself, the AI doesn't do the game any favors, and without any online multiplayer, that becomes an issue for Oh My God Heads. Oh My God Heads is sitting at a 56 on Metacritic.
This pleases me. Come start again.
Number 2, Hello Neighbor. Hello Neighbor was a game with a lot of potential. It was actually being promoted a lot at various conventions because of its interesting premise. It's a stealth survival horror game, and the goal of the game is for the player to successfully sneak into the basement of their neighbor's house to uncover a horrible secret. The game has been in alpha for a while, but it finally released as a full product on PC and Xbox One, but unfortunately, even with that full release, it still felt like an early access title. The game's premise, while it's very interesting, it doesn't hold your hand at all, and I'm all for more more challenging games, but there is no direction in Hello Neighbors. The controls aren't great, and even after the full release, there are a lot of bugs. There's potential in Hello Neighbor. Had it still been an early access title, I could have seen that potential be realized, but now as a full title, it really underdelivered. It's got a 39 on Metacritic. And finally, number 1, WWE 2K18 on the Nintendo Switch. WWE 2K18 released back in October, and a Nintendo Switch version was always on the table. However, it oddly got delayed without much explanation, but it finally released earlier this month, and then we saw why the game was delayed. The game itself is your general WWE experience. If you played the games in the past, there's not much different here. That might be a bad thing already, but the Nintendo Switch version doesn't do any favors at all because it is a technical and performance nightmare. The game runs absolutely horribly with the entrances being in slow motion, and if you're playing some of the game modes with a lot of people in them, well, that's a no-go as well. The menus are slow. Overall, this is just a horrible port, possibly one of the worst ports the Nintendo Switch has seen, and given the fact we have seen games like Doom run on the Switch, we know it's capable of AAA high-quality experiences. WWE 2K18 just wasn't that. It's got a 35 on Metacritic. So that wraps up the top 3 best and worst games of the month. What do you think? What were your favorite games of the month? Did you play any of these? And if so, let us know your thoughts in the comment section down below. Thank you for watching, and goodbye.